Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? This is American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.com. This is the 27th of April, 2017. Oh my goodness, what can I say? We have... Well, let's go take a look, shall we? Paul Craig Roberts reports for InfoWars. He warns that, quote, Trump now a captive of the deep state, unquote. Can the world survive the evil that is concentrated in Washington? When the gullible I don't know. I'm trying to read a new word I've never seen before, so I don't know. It's a $3 college word. Let me put it to you this way. Washington, D.C. is the most corrupt group of people in the world. Okay? And I was thinking about this morning, and I know for a fact. I was thinking about this morning, and I thought to myself, why is Washington, D.C. in the shape that it's in? It's because, and it's real simple, folks, it's because we the people have allowed the lies and the deceit to continue in Washington, D.C. We've allowed it to continue for over 200 and some odd years. Now, I also thought about this. Washington, D.C. was not meant to control the rest of the nation. It was not. That's in history. It was not. The American public and the prostitutes who participate in the deceptions permitted the deep state to get away with the fairy tale that a few Saudi Arabians under the direction of Osama bin Laden, but without the support of any government or intelligence agency, were able to outwit the entirety of Western Alliance and Israel's Mossad and deliver the greatest humility in history to the world's only superpower by making the entirety of the U.S. government dysfunctional. On September 11, 2001, Washington learned that it could get away with anything, any illegal or treasonous act, any lie. The gullible Western populations would believe anything they were told. Not only Americans, but much of the world accepts any statements out of Washington as the truth despite the evidence. If Washington said Washington's vassals in Germany, France, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Netherlands, Belgium, and Japan assent to the obvious lie as if it were the obvious truth, so do the CIA purchased media of these vassal states, a collection of whores who prefer CIA subsidies to truth. When Obama inherited the deep state's agenda from George W. Bush, he set up Syria's Assad for regime change by repeating for many months that if Assad used chemical weapons in the civil war, that's in quotes, that Washington had sent ISIS to conduct, Assad would have crossed the red line that Obama had drawn and would, as a consequence, face an invasion by the U.S. military, just as Iraq had been invaded based on Washington's lie about weapons of mass destruction. Having burnt this idea into the feeble minds of the Western populations, Obama then arranged for a chemical weapon to be exploded in Syria and blamed it on Assad. Thus, the red line had been crossed. The UK Prime Minister, the usual piece of Washington-owned garbage rushed to the support of the American invasion, promising British support, but the British Parliament voted no. The PMs said that the UK was not going to support another American war crime justified by obvious lies. Only in Britain does democracy still have any teeth, as we saw a second time with the Brexit vote. All the rest of the West lives in vassalage and slavery. The Russian government also took a firm stand, admitting that Russia stupidly trusted America in Libya no more. But, I should say, let me correct myself, we, said the Russians, will ourselves remove any and all chemical weapons from Syria and turn them over to Western civilization to be destroyed, which Russians did. What did Western civilization do with the weapons? They gave some of them to ISIS. This gave Washington a second chance to accuse Assad of using chemical weapons against his own people. And so Washington has rolled out this hoax a second time during a Syrian Air Force attack on an ISIS position. A chemical weapon exploded, or so it is alleged. Instantly, Washington said that Assad had used, quote, sarin gas against his own people, unquote. Trump was shown photos of dead babies and stupidly ordered a U.S. military strike against Syria. This was the first time that Washington had engaged in an unambiguous war crime without any cover. Trump had no UN resolution, not even one that could be stood on its head as in Libya. Trump had no NATO participation, no George W. Bush coalition of the willing to give cover to the war crime with the support of other governments. There are no skirts for Trump to hide behind. He stupidly let himself be pushed into committing an unambiguous war crime. Now all his opponents, the deep state, the military security complex, the CIA, Hillary Democrats, and warmonger Republicans have the new White House full under their control. If Trump doesn't do as they want, they will impeach him for his war crimes. I'm going to put that, there's more. I'm going to put that on American Liberty Radio podcast. I've said it before and I'll say it again, and I don't care what people say in response to this, but we don't need centralized government. We don't need centralized government. We don't need a peace so vulnerable that the deep state comes in and takes over. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need a centralized government. We never have needed a centralized government, but many people think we did. The unfortunate part is people are too stupid to realize that we can get along without a centralized government. And it never fails to amaze me that people in the general state of this example play a huge role in supporting a deep state, and they don't even know it. They don't even know how deep that deep state is. They don't even know how far up the ladder of hierarchy these people are. They have absolutely no idea. So in terms of what this deep state can do to the rest of the United States, let me say these people that have absolutely no idea who the deep state is, how far down the hole they are, or how far up the ladder of hierarchy they are, these people that don't know what's going on behind them are the dumbest people in the freaking world. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. These people are stupid. They always have been and they always will be, because they will allow someone to come into their home and deceive them into believing certain things have to be done a certain way And those people are more apt to, well, they're more apt to believe it and fork out their money out of their pockets to clean up the mess. And I say that with this in mind because I was thinking about this last night. I was watching a program on Netflix, and this came to mind. Here we are. We're in the United States of America. We are in the greatest nation in the world, but we have politicians that think, or I should say people running for a public office, that think once they get on the inside, they can clean up the mess. Fat chance that's ever going to happen, because that's what President Donald J. Trump thought too. When you look at his campaigns from the past, when he ran for president and then he got out and then he ran again and he got out and then the third time's the charm, he gets in, right? That's what his thought and every other person that runs for that office thinks. You get inside, you can change things from the inside. No, folks. Washington, D.C. is not a place of by and for the people. Washington, D.C. is it's a cesspool of crime. It's a cesspool of bullcrap, okay? It is. There's no way of getting around it. You go to Washington, D.C., you step in the mud, you're probably going to have a politician on your ass thinking, hey, why'd you step in that mud? That was my mud. Why'd you do that? You know, let me just plainly put it this way. Let me just state it this way. Washington, D.C. is a cesspool of bullies that think that they themselves are the only ones that need to play the political game in the world, and then they send out they send out our military to change other countries that are not westernized into our design, and therefore they start pointing guns at the leaders. Or they send in, black ops to change things from that point of view. Or they do so many different things. And they don't think that the people, you and I, will know anything about it. Well, that's why we have people like Edward Snowden and Julian Assange. And other people like that. And former military people. And former generals. And former administrators coming out saying, hey, this is what's happening. But because the indoctrination of the idiocy from Washington, D.C. is so strong within the, public arena, that people aren't going to believe the folks standing outside of the arena going, hey, don't go in there. They're planning to destroy the United States of America, and this is how they're going to do it, and this is what they've done in the past. People on the outside are looking at people like Julian Assange and Edward Snowden and all that going, yeah, you guys are full of bullcrap. Okay? So I don't want to hear, I don't want to know, I don't want to see these trolls on my Facebook page or on my YouTube channel ever again. These people are paid and by organizations that are funded by George Soros, the Rockefellers, the Ford Foundation, all these other organizations have trolls that go into these sites. They pay these people to go in and say, oh, you're wrong, you're this, you're that, whatever. And that's what they do. Facebook, if you go look at some of the statistics that have been out there from WikiLeaks and from other places like that, you will see that upwards to about 40% of the accounts on Facebook that you see are fake. They're fake. They're fake. Well, they're fake in the sense that they're paid trolls and they're bots. They're internet bots that have been set up, and they're AI, and this, very rarely do you see that. But about 40% of the Facebook accounts that you see, people you may like, you may know, whatever, you've seen that, right? Those accounts are totally fake. They are. They're totally fake. Go look at the statistics. They're out there. They're out there. And let me do this. 40% of Facebook accounts are fake. I'm just going to put that into the thing there. Now, USA Today, as of this year, the 17th of February, USA Today said, beware of fake Facebook accounts. As soon as the page decides it wants to load, there we go. It's a video. It's a video.
When you get a friend request on...
There you go. So let me go and do this. I am going to put that on American Liberty Radio podcast. I'm telling you right now, this is what it is. In the comments section, I'm going to go ahead and put some information down there as well. Every single time you look at one of those, you may also know, those types of things on Facebook. When you see that, chances are it's a fake account. When you look at, you may know this person, and it's just the name, they don't have any mutual friends. Yeah, it's a fake account. Heather Kelly at CNN says 83 million Facebook accounts are fakes and dupes. There you go. Let me put that one in there as well. And you'll get a pop-up when you get there. It's, all that crap from CNN. But do we believe CNN? What news do we believe? Okay. I'm going to put that on the American Liberty Radio podcast. Not in the comment section, but I'm going to put that up there. So let me go to the one of the only, as soon as I find a way to do this, let me go here. And I'm going to give you information. Police are using fake Facebook accounts to track gun supporters. That's from the 19th of March, 2017. Let me put that one up there. Now, when I talk about this, as I'm talking about this, remember, Washington, D.C. is full of bullies and liars and criminals and all of that. Remember that. There's only, and I think this is true to a certain degree, but there is only so many people that will ever believe the truth. Facebook hits DEA for fake account. Facebook empowers far-left group to bury fake news. That's from last December. Going back 5 years, Facebook admits millions of accounts are fake. That goes back to the 2nd of August, 2012. Okay? So let me put that one up there as well on American Liberty Radio podcast. The reason why I'm telling you about fake accounts, and that goes with Google Plus too as well, and more so on Twitter, is because of the fact that there are certain people who will believe anything that they're told. As far as Washington, D.C. goes, as far as President Trump goes, as far as, what's happening in that cesspool of criminals, President Trump was buffaloed and duped into believing that certain things had to be a certain way, and the deep state kept hounding him to do something about Syria and about, all this other stuff going on over there. So the deep state went in and basically manhandled him intellectually throwing his chest onto the Oval Office desk and putting his arm behind his back and saying, "We control this office. You don't." Yeah. I mean, can you imagine that literally happening to a 70-year-old? I mean, come on. The facts are the facts, folks. We are being lied to, okay? We are being lied to. And the deep state has a lot to do about it. Has a lot to do with it, really. Now, when you look at people like, well, the past administration, the Bush administration, the Obama administration, the Bush administration, the Clinton administration, you look at all these previous administrations, you're going to see the influence of a deep state. Whether that be other countries telling the U.S., here's what you're going to do, a la Israel. Or you hear about certain news, reports coming out saying Washington, D.C. has decided to do thus and such. Yeah, that's because the deep state controls the media, too. The facts are the facts. Now, I'm going to go here because I'm done talking about the fakeness, the falseness, the deceit coming from Washington, D.C. I think you folks already know just how bad it truly is over there on the East Coast in that little 10 square mile piece of land that does not own and has no constitutional right to own any other pieces of land except the one they're on. Yes, go check that out. It is with great horror we watch the United States of America slowly die. It is with great horror that we watch people be dumbed down to not even recognize the United States of America as what our founding fathers wanted it to be. A country with free people to do whatever they feel is best for them, to follow their conscience wherever it leads, however it leads, and to be the greatest nation in the world. But remember, there were nefarious characters putting together the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. There were nefarious characters putting together the Declaration of Independence. There were nefarious characters in Pennsylvania, the first capital of the United States, putting together ideas and trying to do everything they could to manage the freedom and liberty that the people sought at that time prior to 1773, 1776. But did you know, even though the Declaration of Independence helped us get away from the British rule, there were still wars and battles that England was engaging in with us? Did you know that? Well, we separated from England in 1776, but the wars kept going until 1781 or 82, somewhere around in there. And it's all because a country tried to control another country's people. Huh? Sound familiar? Then in 1871, 95 years after the Declaration of Independence, President Ulysses S. Grant signs the Act of 1871, creating a corporation of the United States of America and handing everything back over to England. You don't believe me? Go check it out. Follow the money. Connect the dots. It's that bad, folks. It's that bad. After the break, I'll come back. I'll talk about Trump takes aim at Obama's monuments. Trump expected to sign order to examine all national monuments going back 2 decades. President Trump is preparing an executive order targeting a massive national monument in Utah, a key part of former President Obama's conservation legacy. Obama created the 1.3 million acre Bears Ears National Monument in late December using his unilateral power under the Antiquities Act. The action drew heavy backlash, with conservatives accusing him of shutting down development of fossil fuels or other land uses without concern for local economies. Trump is expected to sign an order Wednesday to examine all national monuments going back 2 decades, a White House official said. And it says read more, so I'll put that one up there on American Liberty Radio podcast. Changes are taking place here in the network, folks. I've been pondering some ideas. I've been looking into certain things. I've been examining certain ways to make this network a little more efficient, for you to gather the information, for me to disseminate the information, and for you to support our efforts in getting this information out. So I've been looking into several areas, several different ways of doing that. So I will, in the upcoming days and weeks, I will let you know what those are, what those ideas, once I solidify them and make them, and really put together a plan, then I will let you know what they are. In the meantime, you can still support the network by your advertising dollars. If you're living in Billings, Montana, and you're a mom and pop store and you want to get more advertising out to the local community, you can here in Billings, Montana. All you have to do is ask me, and we'll go from there. We'll negotiate. Email me at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com, AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com, or go to AmericanLibertyRadio.com, go to the sponsors page, and all the information is right there. If you don't want to advertise on the network, that's fine too, but if you want to drop $1 in the kitty there to become a patron and help keep the lights on around here, that works as well. So you guys right here in Billings, Montana have an opportunity for the locals to know who you are. So consider advertising on American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Go to the sponsors page. All the information is right there. And there's certain things that are going to change. So ask me. More than happy to tell you what you need to know. And you can email me at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. I don't know what else to tell you, folks. I guess I'll be right back after this. This is American Liberty Radio at AmericanLibertyRadio.com, sharing the truth one fact at a time without all the BS. You know what you want. You want the truth. You want the facts without all the BS. American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Distorted Reality. I am your host, Nick Tucker, and I welcome you to the broadcast
Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker. DistortedReality.podbean.com and Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on American Liberty Radio Network.
There's a show that's not afraid to ask questions no one else will ask. Not afraid to say
what no one else will say.
Friday nights at 7 p.m. Listen to Restricted Airspace with Tina Marie, where no topic is off limits. Conspiracy theories, paranormal activity, hoaxes, the unexplained. It's what we talk about. Question everything. Trust no one. Restricted Airspace with Tina Marie. Friday at 7 p.m. on the KCOR Digital Radio Network out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hey folks, how you doing? This is American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.com. This is the American Liberty Radio podcast for the 27th of April, 2017. How are you? Yes, my voice sounds really gravelly this morning. I sometimes record these in the morning, sometimes record these in the evening. Whenever I get like 5 minutes to spare, because I'm busy doing other things. I do other things outside of the studio, outside of American Liberty Radio Network. I do things for New West Productions, which is my other project, my side project, if you will, and that's radio dramas, that's online radio theater, that's, I do a lot of stuff. I'm writing, producing, editing, so I do a lot more than just these little podcasts. And somebody said, "You got a job?" I said, "This is it." Folks, this is my day job. This is what I do. I come into the studio in the morning and I don't leave out of here for quite a few hours, and it kind of, I do see daylight sometimes. I do get outside once in a while. So anyway, but this is my day job. So if you want to support me in this day job, please support American Liberty Radio Network. That would be great. Or New West Radio Theater. That would be great as well. You can go to, just email me, folks, at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com, AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com, or you can go to AmericanLibertyRadio.com. That's AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Go to the sponsors page and become a patron. Yeah, drop $1 in the kitty. Help me keep the lights on around here and keep me fed. Because I like my coffee, man. I got my coffee right in front of me. Okay. So there you go. A little coffee for your radio host today on the 27th of April, 2017. So how you doing? Are you good? Are you happening? Are you alive? I mean, if you're not alive, then that would be a silly question, wouldn't it? Are you in the nether world? Are you, I don't know. I could go into many different areas on that one. Washington, D.C. to hold massive quote-unquote coordinated terror attack drill this Wednesday, the 26th. That was yesterday. Anybody have any information about that? How'd that go? How did everything go? How did, did everything work out fine? NeoCons demand return to Cold War. The NeoCons infiltrating the Trump administration want conflict with Russia. No, these NeoCons need to get fired immediately. Immediately. The Globalist Coalition against Trump exposed. We elected Trump, not Ivanka. Oh, yeah. Did you hear about that one? Let me tell you. This is from today, the 27th of April, 2017, from Infowars.com. Paul Joseph Watson and Mike Cernovich discuss what Donald Trump is up against and how we need to make our voices heard and remind the president why we voted for him. And this is a couple of videos there. So I'm going to put those up and let you see those. I've seen them, and yeah, okay, very informative. Very informative. Let me go to that one about the NeoCons demand return to Cold War, because we don't need that, okay? David Knight over at InfoWars, 27 April 2017. It's looking like deja vu all over again with the worst of the Cold War as massive casualty drills are conducted in New York City. Massive casualty because the U.S. doesn't do civil defense. There's a video there. I'll put that video up on American Liberty Radio podcast. Folks, I don't, I'm done with the insanity coming out of Washington, D.C. I don't know about you, this show is heard in many different countries, folks. This show is heard in many different countries. Let me give you a taste, just a taste. I'm going to tease you with who listens and who plays this show in their country. Let me go here. And I'm going to go to Spreaker.com because that's the platform I use. And I'm going to go up to more stats on my profile page. And I'm going to show you if it's going to work this time. Usually it doesn't. It just sits there and does its, oops, we were not able to load this section. It's the geolocation section. Not able to load the section. I think they're working behind the scenes to change things around. But my show's listened to in China, which is really weird. I saw that one time. It's listened to in Belgium. Just last week, I saw statistics from Bangladesh, of all places. That's kind of weird. I didn't know people listen to the internet radio shows in Bangladesh. Obviously in England and in other areas, and Germany, of course. They listen to. I have a cousin in Germany who lives there with her husband and family, and I have relatives in England as well. But my show is listened to all over the world, and I'm giving you the information of what's happening here in the United States because, well, number one, I can, and number two, it's not what you think. And your media over there in other countries is lying to you just as ours is lying to us. Speaking of which, MSM, mainstream media, ignores massive pedo investigation. Swept under the rug. John Bown, Infowars.com. By all accounts, the Trump administration has waged a silent war due to the lack of mainstream media coverage on a human trafficking network of pedophilia. That's number one on the list that I wanted to talk to you about today, because it is a massive, massive problem. And some of the players in that, and that is just posted on American Liberty Radio podcast, some of the players in that come straight out of the government offices of Child Protective Services. Oh, it's alleged that they do this. It's been, no. It's on record, folks. Go follow the money, connect the dots. You will find that CPS takes children away. They do and they whatever. And go look at that. Oh, God. Don't even get me started on CPS. Growing up in Stockton, California, spending time on the streets that I did, spending time with people who were not in the middle class, I'll just put it that way, did not have the proper living conditions. I can tell you right now, the people that I saw, that I knew, that were, I would have to call my friends because they were having their kids taken away from their exes or from the state or from whatever because of certain things that were totally false, by the way. Yeah, CPS is behind all of it. Or I would say CPS is the hired gun to eliminate the family of the United States of America and to get rid of really the family structure. Because CPS has been accused of and has been found out and is one of the biggest child racketeering organizations in the nation and around the world? How many children go missing every year? Well, since I asked the question, how many children under the age of 16 go missing per year? How many? This is from Slate.com. 800,000 missing kids? Really? Making sense of child abduction statistics. Okay? That's one article, and I'm not going to read it to you. I'm just going to put it on American Liberty Radio podcast on Facebook for you guys to check out. That's from Slate. So you got to look at the organization that's reporting on this. Okay? The Daily Mail, ABC News, Fact Retriever, 48 interesting facts about missing people. This is from factretriever.com. I'm going to put that up on American Liberty Radio podcast. I mentioned it. I'm going to put it up there for you guys to check out. There you go. I don't give you just bullcrap, folks. I don't say, well, this and this and this. No. When I give you a headline, I put it up there for you guys to check out. How many people are kidnapped each day in the U.S.? That's from Quora, Quora.com. I'm going to put that up there as well. Every headline I read to you, I put up so you guys can check it out and see what I'm seeing. Okay, do I read these things? Sometimes if I have time. And that's part of the changes of American Liberty Radio Network. I'm going to extend the podcast. Yes, I don't know how. That's one of the ideas I had, folks, in the last 24 hours. Because I give you the headlines and then I don't read the article to you or read some of the article to you. I just put it up and I encourage you to go look it up, yourself. Go read it yourself and check out the, information. The Missing Person Dimension, Australian Institute of Criminology, aic.gov.au. I put that up there. There's a PDF. That's a PDF form. It's a long one. There we go. Okay, let me do this because it's a PDF and it just popped up on my screen. So I'm gonna save this, but I'm also going to if I can do this. I can't print it, so So anyway, I am going to, but that's it. www.aic.gov.au/media_library/children/Henderso. That's Henderso. Each HENDERSO.PDF. Okay? I'm going to highlight that and put that on American Liberty Radio podcast. Okay? It's a PDF form, so your PDF reader may show up and may, put it on your computer and all that. So check that out. And it's basically the Missing Person Dimension, Australian Institute of Criminology, trafficked young people breaking the wall of silence. This is from books, books.google.com/books. I'm going to put that on there as well on the American Liberty Radio podcast. Because once I mention it, I want you guys to go check it out. That's a long freaking URL. But let me do that. Okay, there we go. It's on there. It's on American Liberty Radio. Trafficked trafficked young people. Trafficked. What the heck? Sometimes, folks, not enough coffee helps me speak correctly, okay? It's one of those things. Folks, when you look around at everything in your life, when you examine everything from families to your own family, to your neighborhood, to your politics, to everything that you examine, when you examine all these things, what is the one thing that you yourself look for in bringing about peace, freedom, liberty, and security for your family, your nation, your county, your province, your, whatever? What is that one thing you look for? And that is something that we all have to concentrate on. It's different for everybody. It's different for everybody, and we have to concentrate on that. We have to really put together a plan of attack, if you will, or a plan of defense, considering that the governments around the world, run by the elites of the world, want to collapse every single country and kill off about 80 to 90% of the population of the planet. We have to create a plan of defense. Now, I like to refer to movies. I refer to movies because I think that certain things in a movie are symbolic to certain things we need to be doing, right? Or kind of the catalyst, if you will, of things that we need to be doing. Well, when I look at movies, I refer to one of my favorite movies, and that is Star Wars. So I looked at Star Wars. I examined Rogue One. I looked at all this stuff, also Episode 7 and all this, and I found out that the rebels, the Rebel Alliance, had military equipment. Well, how is that? Well, now let me relate that back to the United States of America and to the rest of the world. Upwards to 85% of the law enforcement and military of the United States of America said in their statements to certain whistleblowers, certain alternative media outlets, that if the government came along and told them to take the weapons away, take the guns away from the American people, if the UN came in and started, taking the guns away from the American people, the law enforcement and military, upwards to 85% of them, said that they would defy every single order from Washington, D.C. to take away the defense of the American people. And they themselves would step into the fray to defend the American people against the nefarious and criminal activities of Washington, D.C. Those are my words. But this is the gist of what the law enforcement has said. And the military. Now, when you look at this whole situation in the United States of America, specifically the United States, you can see that the American people are, number one, they understand what's going on. Most of them. And probably somewhere about 20 to 25% of the American people want a communist-style government in the United States of America. That might be a little low, but that's what they want. There's no debating that. That's what they want. When you look at Mark Dice, when you look at other people going out and talking to people on the streets, and they ask them certain questions relating to, certain things as far as communism for the United States, you're going to see that about 20 to 25% of the American people want a communist country in the United States of America, or communist politics in the United States of America. You'll see that. That's right there. You're not going to get around that. Okay? Those numbers change, of course, when people get the truth and the facts, and then they begin to go, what? What did I say? Oh, my God, I don't want that. They begin to see the flaws in their logic, and is what I'm saying. But now you look at people like Ann Coulter, who canceled her speaking engagement at Berkeley in California. And guess what? Berkeley is the cesspit of suppression of freedom of speech, freedom of everything, freedom everywhere, that they are the pinnacle. They are at the pinnacle of communist education and indoctrination, period. Oh, I don't care. Anybody listening to me that goes to Berkeley, you can go F yourself, because you people absolutely don't know what you're doing. Okay? The facts are there. The facts are staring you in the face. I don't give one rip what the mainstream media tells you. They're full of crap. And so is Berkeley. And let me also tell you this about Berkeley. Their cancer has swept into the University of Las Vegas. Their cancer has swept into the University of into UC Davis. Their cancer, their politics, their philosophies have swept into most of California and Nevada. So I don't want to hear any more about, oh, well, Berkeley's just a liberal college that, and you get a good at. No. Look at the last few days. Ann Coulter canceled her speaking engagement there. Milo, whatever his name is, I forget. Sorry, Milo. He's going there to speak for a week. He's going there. Why? He's going to go into the heart of the beast and just, rip him a new one, I would suppose. But freedom of speech is being shut down, and that's exactly what communist philosophies want. They want to, number one, take your guns away from you so you can't defend yourself. Number two, take your ability to speak about that away from you so you can't get other people rallied to your efforts to, defend yourself. It goes down the line, folks. Go look at the Communist Manifesto. Go look at the Humanist Manifesto. Go look at the Socialist Manifestos that are out there. It's all out there, folks. It's all provable. I don't have them in front of me. If I had my camera on, you can see I got nothing in front of me. I don't have a teleprompter. I don't have notes. I don't have anything. You people need to go out and do your damn homework and understand what's happening in your own neighborhoods. I don't always agree with what Ann Coulter says, but I definitely don't agree with Berkeley at all, ever, and never have. It's just, they're the cesspool of education and indoctrination in California. Period. End of sentence. Done. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Anybody at Berkeley listening to this, go F yourself, because you people don't know what you're doing. That's just the way it is. Now, I live up here in the Treasure State, or in the Big Sky country of Montana, and I guarantee you that people here have a more balanced view. Yes, crap is going on in Helena, Montana, with the governor signing certain things that people don't like. I mean, that's true with every state, but we have less than 1 million people in this state, folks. A little more. Yeah, I think it's a little more than, well, let me go look. I'm not going to guess. I'm just going to go look. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. Population of Montana. 1.033 million people as of 2015. That's the population of Montana. Oh, let me compare that, folks, to California. If I can spell population of California. 39.14 million people as of 2015. 39.14 million people as of 2015. People are leaving California in droves. Montana population, 1.033 million people as of 2015. Idaho, 1.6 million people. Wyoming, 586,000 people. Okay? That's population as of 2015, folks. I don't want to hear any more about it. And when I say that, it's a blanket statement to those people that think that they know that, well, that they know what they know. And I'm tired of hearing people tell me that I'm lying, that I'm a conspiracy theorist, that I don't know what I'm talking about, that I'll just go down the list of all those negative things that you can think of. I'm tired of listening to those people because they are dumber than dirt. I scrape crap off the bottom of my shoe that is smarter than them. Okay? These people just absolutely don't know what they're talking about. People like Maxine Waters of California, or Dianne Feinstein of California, or Nancy Pelosi, it's just, I'm done with these people. I'm done with those people and those supporters of those people, including Bernie Sanders, including, Hillary Clinton. I'm done with those people. Those people have not brought this country together to support the innovation and the education to innovate in the country. These people have done nothing to bring about a more positive view or a positive foundation in the United States of America. None of these people have. Oh, wait, there's more. The Republicans haven't done their share either. The Republicans put together these plans and these things and these propositions, and they put these bills together, and they go into each state, and they go into Washington, D.C., and they say, this is what we're looking at, yada, yada, yada. But they don't know. They're not doing this country any good either. Okay? They just don't care. Why do you think, once a person is in Congress, why do you think they want to stay there and get reelected all the time? Because they are professional politicians. Strom Thurmond was there for over 60 years, I think it is. I got a few minutes here before I end the show, but let me go look. Strom Thurmond. Let me go look. He was a Republican. He was of the Republican Party. Let's put it that way. I'll just put it to you that way. Strom Thurmond was in office. He was, United States Senator from South Carolina. November, he was a senator. November 7th, 1956 to January 3rd, 2003. Okay? Sorry for the for the silence. He was governor of South Carolina from January 21st, 47 to January 16th, 1951. Excuse me. He was a member of South Carolina Senate from 1933 to 1938. He was a United States Senator from South Carolina in office from 1956 to 2003 and reelected, or I should say, he was primarily in office the first time from 1954 to 1956. He was in for 44 years? Was that it? You have professional politicians that have been there for well over 30, 40, 50 years, and I guarantee you these people need to go and retire. I believe in term limits, 6 years, all of it. President, senators, I don't care. Well, what about, they're not going to get anything done in 6 years. Yeah, they will. They need to tell the UN, get the hell out. We need to get out of the UN. We need to tell all these other countries, you're going to pay us back from all the money you took from us that we loaned you. You're going to do everything you can to solidify a better relationship with the United States of America, or we're cutting you off immediately. This is what we need to do, and we need to tell all these senators and representatives, you better do what the people tell you to do, or you're out. Now, That might sound controversial, right? But guess what? I don't care. I'm going to go away. This is how we need to run the United States of America and get these asshats out of Washington, D.C. Term limits. Remember that. AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Sharing the truth one fact at a time without all the BS.